Yeah, Carlos and I had a couple good matchups during our career. He's a great player, and it's fun to be his teammate, not have to worry about defending him anymore.
You had that talk about it yet?
We haven't. No, we've exchanged pleasantries, but haven't gotten into that much.
Plenty of time for that. I talk about, everyone talks about how tough you are, but there's everyone says, but.
Yeah, there are some limitations. I think obviously not the biggest guy in stature. Straight line speed is not forte either, but play very fast. Know the game, take proper angles, and know all my assignments. So that's a really factor for me. And the strengths outweigh the flaws.
Are you healthy?
I am.
Have everything? Yeah. You're able to do everything right now.
Yes.
So what do you think when obviously chosen in the third round, then the team signs Shane Stove after the draft? You guys have sure been compared a lot as to the top inside linebackers in the draft. What was your reaction?
I really didn't give it a whole lot of thought when they did. It's been great to work with Shane this past week. He's a smart guy, a very good player, and I got a lot of respect for him. So
is he a little ahead of you right now, just because he's played for these coaches in the past?
Some things are different, I think, but he definitely is familiar with some elementary things that we have in our defense. And he's been great. I've asked him questions and what he has done at Stanford that we're doing here.
Chris, there are a couple of 49er legend type guys that are currently on this roster, playing similar positions that you play. What sort of things can you learn from them, and how eager are you to kind of get with Patrick and Navarro when he comes back?
There's so much to learn. I think you already from film have learned the correct way to play things. It's been great to work with Patrick one-on-one here, in the last 3 or 4 days. So the way he works, the way he approaches things and leads, it's inspiring. We've got a lot to learn. Those two guys, I don't know if they're two better guys on the team to learn from how to play this position.
What's your interaction been like with Patrick in the last few days?
It's been great. He's been a leader. We're just going through football school to go workouts. So, not a whole lot, but he just introduced himself and I've watched the way he conducts his business, and it's a good example to follow.
Have you had work? He approached you and
no, we introduced one another. I don't think we knew who I was.
Have you had a chance to make that switch in your mind from college to NFL to a professional player yet? And what would it take?
Yeah, well, I don't think you'll get that feel until the Bulls are flying. It's the real deal during the season. But you can pour yourself into it, prepare yourself for it with film and with learning the new system, which is more complicated than what we did in college. Just get yourself in shape and get ready for the year.
Chris, obviously, you're not the only guy who's come in the NFL, has been viewed as having the ideal size and speed. Are there guys that you look to in your career saying, hey, that guy can do it in the NFL level, you get it done? Like, just other motivation or examples to you?
Yeah, I think there's a number of guys, and I play a position where if you're mentally sharp, it's not as big a deal. You're not a cover corner or anything. So guys like Sam Mills, which I know Coach Fangio coached, Zach Thomas, London Fletcher, guys like that. Some guys I can look up to.
When was the first time you heard the knock, short arms? That's something you probably hadn't thought a whole lot about until...
I hadn't. No, probably the Senior Bowl was the first time I had my arms measured, so right after that.
And what was your reaction when you heard, what, my arms are short?
I didn't really care, but anyway, give it a whole lot of fun.
Reached the dinner plate, what the heck?
Yeah, exactly.
All the physical characteristics that we're talking about. This team is made up with a lot of physical specimens. Just big, tough dudes. I'm sure because of the physical characteristics that we're talking about with you, you're talking about the mental edge and tenacity. I'm sure it probably plays a lot into your game. How do you attack making the roster with that, and how do you think that might rub off on other people?
Well, I think I have to have it. I don't really have a choice, but luckily I was born with it, and I love to play that way and prepare that way. So, I think hopefully guys respect it and emulate it. But as far as being tenacious and being aggressive, it's just the way I am. It's the way I'm going to be this year.
Back in Wisconsin, when you were preparing to play Carlos, what were things that stood out about his tape at Ohio State?
I think he was an all-around player. We'd seen him earlier in his career, and he's a little heavier, and you can maybe suggest he was more of a bruising back. But I knew he shed some pounds before his past season, and was just a complete all-around back. Didn't have any flaws really, so that's what stood out.
But you seem to more or less embrace this kind of idea of you just being a try-hard guy. But do you think people kind of underestimate some of your actual physical talent?
Maybe to a degree. I noticed how strong suit, but I'm comfortable with my athleticism. Never feel outmatched out there. I take the try hard as a compliment. Just say that.
I mean, it's a big deal coming from a big conference. It's really, every week you guys were playing, you know, the upper echelon talent.
Yeah, and even in practice, we went against one of the best lines in the country for years, and Heisman finalists and All-American running backs, Russell Wilson. So we've had our exposure to good players, and I'm confident transitioning to this level.
What kind of a relationship do you have with Wilson?
We were on different sides of the ball, and he was at Wisconsin for about 6 months, so good considering that amount of time. But he's a good guy, I respect him. But now he's a division foe, so try to get after him.
Well, what did you know of this organization beforehand?
Well, growing up in the '90s, obviously Steve Young, Jerry Rice, they had a dynasty going, and as far as this organization, I've had a few friends recently play for him, and Scott Dolzini, Chris Maragos. It's just a great organization to be in. I think the Bartolo, your family, all the way down to Coach Harbaugh and the staff. I don't know a whole lot about other organizations in the NFL. I can only imagine it's better.
The Big Ten known as the Smash Mouth League, this division known as Smash Mouth. Do you think, the rivalries in this division kind of suit your style?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Coach Levitt the other day was talking about the Niners-Seahawks rivalry like it's a college rivalry, so it'll be fun to be a part of. I know the fans don't really care for one another, and the teams don't either, so that's fun. That's what football's all about.
Hey, Chris, you've been a star everywhere you've been. Now this is a situation where they want you to be a piece of the puzzle. Is that a psyche that you can get graphs?
I think early on at Wisconsin, it was really a piece of the puzzle, and enjoyed that. I really embraced it. You can really master your role and find your niche and excel at it. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. In time, if I become a star, that'll be great. I'll strive for that, but for the time being, I just need to find my role in this team.
How'd you become a good tackler?
A lot of work. I didn't really play much defense until college, so was a really bad tackler, honestly, early on in college. But worked at it, and just reps. Football's a game of reps, so after time.
Is there anything specific you work on?
Footwork, taking the proper angles, head up, things like that, driving your legs on contact. Had a great coach, really hard tackling in college, and it just came with time and reps.
Don't tell me you were a quarterback before that.
No, running back and receivers.
Chris, Vic Fangio said that Sports Illustrated will be interesting to see if this game